end my life. There's a lot of different performers and WWE superstars.
Hey, WWE lovers, welcome to Pinfall Headlines, your source for match recaps and breaking wrestling news. Hit that bell and let's roll. The world of WWE never sleeps. And this week, the wrestling universe is buzzing with unexpected twists. From Roman Reigns' shocking alliances to Ronda Rousey's new ventures, from Cedric Alexander recalling a surreal night with Vince McMahon, to Natalya announcing her emotional memoir. The stories are non-stop. Fans are witnessing a fascinating shift under Triple H's leadership as new doors open and old rivalries reignite. Stay tuned, because what's happening right now could reshape the landscape of WWE heading into WrestleMania 41 and beyond, when Vince McMahon chose a janitor for the main event. Let's rewind to one of the most bizarre and entertaining nights in WWE history, July 8, 2019, Monday Night Raw. That night, fans expected another routine main event. Roman Reigns, the big dog, was set to take on Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre, two of the company's most dominant names at the time. But there was a twist. Shane and Drew needed a partner. And who did they choose? Not a returning legend, not a surprise NXT call-up, but a janitor. That's right, Shane introduced a masked arena janitor named Gary Garbett as their mysterious teammate. Fans didn't know whether to laugh or gasp. A janitor in the main event, against Roman Reigns. It sounded like peak WWE chaos, and it absolutely was. But here's where it gets interesting. Under that mask wasn't some random extra. It was none other than Cedric Alexander, one of WWE's most athletic and underrated stars. The crowd didn't see it coming. Even Roman himself seemed caught off guard as the janitor started throwing high-flying moves like a cruiserweight. Within seconds, Gary Garbett went from a comedy gimmick to a legitimate in-ring threat, until Drew McIntyre's brutal Claymore kick ended the illusion in spectacular fashion. Cedric Alexander's big reveal and the Vince McMahon directive. After the show, fans everywhere buzzed about who the janitor really was. A few days later, Cedric Alexander finally opened up about what went on behind the scenes that night, and his story, pure vintage Vince McMahon. Cedric revealed that Vince personally gave him detailed instructions on how to perform the unmasking. He told him, "Take off the mask slowly and smile. The twist?" Cedric had just been kicked square in the mouth by Drew McIntyre's Claymore. His lip was busted and he was bleeding. Smiling was the last thing he felt like doing. But in WWE, the show always comes first, so he did it anyway. Mask off, smile through the pain, and let the crowd take it all in. It was a small moment, but it carried a big lesson. That one grin, after a brutal hit, became symbolic of WWE's philosophy. No matter what happens, you sell the story. You create emotion out of every second. For Cedric, it was more than a funny backstage anecdote. It was a sign that even when you're bruised, overlooked, or playing the janitor, you can still steal the spotlight, if you trust the process, teaming up with Roman Reigns behind the curtain. Teaming up with Roman Reigns, even just for one night, was a dream come true for Cedric Alexander. He later talked about what that experience meant to him. He described standing backstage, running through the match with Roman, Shane, and Drew, all veterans of the business, all with larger-than-life personalities. Cedric admitted it was intimidating, but also exhilarating. He even shared a funny moment from rehearsal when he mentioned wanting to hit one of his signature high-flying moves. Shane McMahon gave him that trademark grin and said something like, "Just don't steal the show too much, kid." It was a light-hearted exchange, but it said a lot about the respect Cedric had earned among the veterans. They knew he was talented. They knew he brought something fresh to the ring. That night, standing shoulder to shoulder with Roman Reigns, Cedric learned what it truly meant to perform at the top level. It wasn't just about moves or promos. It was about presence, energy, and chemistry. He walked away from that match not just with a bruised lip, but with a deeper understanding of what makes WWE tick, the balance between spectacle and storytelling, and the invisible brotherhood that keeps the business alive. The legacy of Roman Reigns and his upcoming challenge. Fast forward to today, and Roman Reigns remains the cornerstone of WWE, from the Shield to the Tribal Chief. He's evolved into one of the most dominant and complex characters in modern wrestling history. But even Roman's empire faces challenges. Lately, the buzz across WWE is all about his ongoing rivalry with Seth Rollins and CM Punk, two men who, like Roman, have shaped entire eras of wrestling. The tension between them has been brewing for weeks. Promos have turned personal. Brawls have broken out. Backstage fans can feel something massive coming. All signs now point toward a monumental triple threat match at WrestleMania 41. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. If it happens, it won't just be another main event. It'll be a collision of philosophies. Roman represents dominance and discipline. Seth symbolizes creativity and evolution. And Punk? Punk stands for rebellion, the voice that never bows down. Three completely different energies, one ring. This could be the match that defines the next generation of WWE storytelling. The debate over WrestleMania 41's biggest matches. Of course, with every big WrestleMania announcement comes debate on the Keeping It 100 podcast. Wrestling veteran Disco Inferno shared a different opinion. He argued that WWE should have booked the matches differently. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins one-on-one and CM Punk versus Logan Paul. To him, those pairings made more sense. Roman and Seth have years of emotional history, while Punk and Logan could have offered the ultimate mainstream versus purist clash. But that's the beauty of WrestleMania season. Everyone has their own dream match. Some want legacy battles, others want crossover spectacles. And in the end, WWE thrives on that unpredictability. The moment we think we've figured it out, they flip the script. Whether fans love or hate it, the conversation never stops. And that's exactly what keeps the product alive. The spirit of the WWE family lives on from Cedric Alexander's janitor, disguised to Roman Reigns' ongoing reign of dominance, from Natalia's heartfelt memoir to Ronda Rousey's show of respect. All these stories share one thread. Family WWE is more than just an entertainment empire. It's a family, one that fights, laughs, and grows together. Behind the bright lights and intense rivalries, there's a deep bond among these athletes. They lift each other up, challenge each other to be better, and create moments that outlive the matches themselves. Vince McMahon's flair for drama, Triple H's evolution as a leader, the emotional vulnerability of stars like Natalia, all of it weaves together into the living heartbeat of professional wrestling. And that's what keeps fans coming back, generation after generation, not just for the championships or the rivalries, but for the stories, the human stories. Because when you strip away the pyrotechnics and the spectacle, wrestling is, and always has been, about people chasing their dreams, surviving their doubts, and finding family in the most unexpected places.